Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Tuesday, April 19th, 2016, around 4:33 in the afternoon in Billerica, Massachusetts. Been a mix and sun and clouds today, highs in the 50s. It's nice out. It's not as good as the past couple of days. Tomorrow's going to be more of the same, but Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 60s and 70s, which is good. Some news to report. The Phoenix Suns have named Earl Watson its new head coach. He was doing interim work this past season. He's the 17th coach in Suns history, so congratulations to him getting that gig. Also, Michael Strahan is leaving Live with Kelly and joining Good Morning America on a full-time basis. Michael does some work for Good Morning America on a part-time basis, but he wanted to do full-time, so congratulations to him. And the LA Clippers star player Jamal Crawford has won the 6th Man of the Year in the NBA for the 3rd time, so congratulations to him. And that's about it on the news. My second video blog subject of the day is about Pardon the Interruption. Pardon the Interruption is a sports talk show that's been on the air on ESPN for about 15 years. It's 5:30 weekdays, and it's hosted by Tony Kornshiner and Michael Wilbon, two sports writers for writing for Washington Post, and it was videotaped at the Atlantic Video in Washington, D.C. the first 7-8 years. Currently, it's being taped at the studio of the ABC Washington News Bureau. And the format for Pardon the Interruption: the first segment is headlines, which Tony and Michael talk about the best sports headlines of the day. There's about maybe 4 or 5 of them, and it's usually time limit from about 2 minutes to about 45 seconds on each headline. They do it every so often. Both Tony and Michael have an opinion on the subject, and sometimes they get talk amongst one another. It doesn't get physical, but there's a verbal exchange, and when each subject ends, there's a bell, ding. And then the second segment is 5 good minutes. They usually have 5 good minutes with a sports star or sports writer or sports commentator or celebrity who loves sports, whoever, and both Tony and Michael ask them questions and stuff. Usually the interview maybe is 3.5 to 5 minutes. If they do not have a guest on it, they continue with other sports headlines of the day. And they have a third segment on Pardon the Interruption, which is, it's like a various of subjects like mealtime, usually, or food chain, which talks about subjects, about sports, and power rankings, and good cop, bad cop, and other subjects during that segment, which is pretty good. Or sometimes they continue headlines if they don't have any of the categories, and if they have the guests and stuff. And sometimes Tony dresses up as a cop, or Michael dresses up as a cop, and it's pretty funny. And usually the last segment of Pardon the Interruption is like happy birthday. They say happy birthday to somebody who in the sports world and stuff, or happy anniversary for a very famous sporting event that happened on that day of taping. And usually happy trails means like a player or a coach leaving team, or like somebody passing away, or if something is leaving or whatever. And then they have errors, which was which was done by the stat boy Tony Leal, who was on part of the Interruption from its debut into 2014 when they relocated to New York City. And then they have the Big Finish. The Big Finish is they have like some other last minute news about sports that wasn't mentioned, and it goes for about 30 seconds or so. And then at the end, they says they'll try next time, and always at the end, Tony Kornshiner waves the Canadian flag, and and they say it's time to go to Sports Center. For a little while, the ending of PTR, they had some special segments of Pardon the Interruption on the 6 p.m. Sports Center that was exclusive just to the Sports Center, which ran, and it was a little bit popular. And Pardon the Interruption is usually repeated on ESPN2 at 6:30 p.m. and several times on ESPN News. There's a podcast of Pardon the Interruption, which they take out commercials. Usually it's up 3 hours after it is on ESPN. And when Tony Kornshiner or Michael Wilbon's on vacation, they have guest hosts. Over the past years, it was Dan Lebertard guest hosting, Bob Ryan, Dan Shaughnessy, Sally Jenkins, and Michael Smith, Stephen A. Smith, and a whole host of others. And they've had other shows similar to Pardon the Interruption on other sports channels or regional sports networks, but they can't compare to Pardon the Interruption, which is probably one of the best sports debate shows in the history of ESPN. And love Tony Kornshiner and Michael Wilbon. They mesh together. They're great. And watch Pardon the Interruption at 5:30 p.m. weekdays on ESPN. That's about it on this video blog. The third and final video blog is coming up, which will be about Sportsnet hockey host, one of them, Leah Hextall. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Bennett guy. Molly Rosenblatt of WCCO, Oxen has nice legs. Elizabeth Hutt, so stunning. She's the best. Amy Swensy's awesome. Julie Gow of Fox 25 is the best. And in the words of Dee Patel last week, no bus. See you later.